Missouri's COVID-19 death toll hits a grim milestone.
A new school choice law in Missouri could mean more attendance at private and charter schools within the state. I'm Zach Dodge with how that law will work, coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri's COVID-19 death toll reaches a grim milestone. This is KOAM News at 6. The Missouri Health Department's coronavirus dashboard showed 20 new deaths, bringing the total to more than 10,000 since the pandemic began. Deaths have been rising again in recent weeks due to the Delta variant, and it's been especially troubling in southwestern Missouri. New cases and hospitalizations also are at their worst levels since the winter. Nationally, more than 615,000 Americans have died from the virus. As more businesses require COVID-19 vaccinations, many employees are wondering what happens if they refuse to get the vaccine. Reporter Shoshana Stahl spoke with a Southwest Missouri attorney to get the answer.
Unemployment, at least here in Missouri, is based on the fact that you can get unemployment if you quit through no fault of your own.
Attorney Greg Groves says the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission has already addressed if businesses can require their workers to get vaccinated. And the answer is yes.
You can't discriminate against people based on race, age, gender. And they also say you have to be concerned about making sure you make accommodations for people that may have a disability or a religious reason that they may not want to get the vaccine.
But you must have proof to be exempt.
People can say, look, I have never obtained a vaccine. I won't get my kids vaccinated because I'm against it on religious grounds. And you can go search my medical records. It'll show that my kids have not been vaccinated. That's going to be more proof that they have a true religious belief, because there has to be a true religious belief.
Outside of those two situations, Groves says if it is mandated, an employee must get the vaccine or risk losing their job. And that person then has no right to unemployment benefits because they chose not to follow the company's rules.
If the employer has a regular policy and they go to the employees and say, here's our policy, and you need to follow it, and the employee chooses not to follow that policy, it's basically insubordination, and the employer has every right to terminate that employee.
Groves doesn't expect many lawsuits to be filed in the area, saying most lawyers know they wouldn't win in court.
And I've had a number of calls, and I haven't seen anybody else take them, and I haven't taken them for that very reason.
Now, when it comes to colleges and universities requiring vaccines, Grove says they're also allowed to deny students from coming to school there if they refuse to get vaccinated. Doug Heddy, we need a break from the heat.
We do. It's been super hot outside. For about the past week or so, our temperatures have been into the 90s with the high humidity and the high heat indices. But we are going to shake the weather up a little bit over the next few days. As of right now, we look fine. Not much is going on, but you can see thunderstorms to our north. Pretty good line right across central Missouri, and then a little bit scattered as you get back into southeastern Kansas. These are mainly going to stay east of us. They will clip some of our northern counties as we go through the evening hours, but better chances for scattered thunderstorms a little bit later on tonight. We are going to get some clouds from those storms through the evening hours, and then some pop-up thunderstorms starting to work in, especially after midnight into the morning hours. And these are going to be a little bit more widespread than what we have seen rainfall-wise, at least over the past couple weeks. Also, our heat is going to drop just a little bit. We're going to look at all these changes here in about 10 minutes.
Catch you then. The family of Daniel Holden, a man who died in Carthage police custody, is suing the Carthage Police Department and the city. The suit alleges that Holden ingested meth during a traffic stop that he received during a controlled buy orchestrated by police, and that after he ingested that meth, a total of 13 grams, he began seizing and vomiting in the jail. The suit says police did not immediately call for emergency medical help, despite knowing that Holden ingested the meth. Instead, attorneys for the family say officers took Holden into an interrogation room before providing any medical assistance. The family is asking for compensation for all losses and damages. Missouri's new school choice law could mean more students in private and charter schools in the state. Some are railing against it, saying it takes money away from the already underfunded public education system in the state. KOAM Zach Dodge has details.
With pencils on paper, students at College Heights Christian School start the first day of school.
Come in that door, grab your papers on your way in.
Everything's going very well. This year we were blessed. We increased our enrollment by almost 60 students.
And College Heights could have even more students this time next year because of a new school choice law here in Missouri. In a nutshell, it will work by giving tax credits to people who donate into scholarship funds throughout the state. Those scholarship funds, starting next year, would then go to students with disabilities or those who come from low-income households so they can attend a private or charter school. Each student who qualifies would get up to $6,300. At College Heights, tuition ranges from around $3,000 to $7,000 a year, depending on the grade.
Even though we work really hard to keep our tuition low, it's still kind of out of the reach of some families. It gives families who might not have that option, the option.
The traditional public school is probably best for most kids, but it doesn't mean it's the best option for all kids. And so we need to provide parents other options.
Some are pushing against the program, though, saying it's a way of diverting tax money away from the already underfunded education system in the state.
We need to be investing more money in public education right now in the state of Missouri rather than reducing the resources available.
The reality is it should be money going to educate a child. If you take any other government program that we have, for instance, like food stamps, we don't go to a government grocery store. Why should we do something different in education?
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
The program will be available only in cities with populations higher than 30,000. In Southwest Missouri, that means only Joplin. And students who take part in the program will continue to be counted in their home districts for the first 5 years of the program. Still ahead, we're going to hear about some of the work that went behind bringing the Missouri State Fair back after a year-long hiatus, and the event in Joplin connecting the area's homeless with the resources they need. The Missouri State Fair is officially underway in Sedalia, Missouri. This is the first one in almost 2 years due to the pandemic, and officials say the long hiatus made things a bit more complicated this year.
I think we kind of felt a little lost this year. We were working hard trying to make sure we didn't forget things, having not done it in 2 years. So I think it's all coming together. We're going to be back to normal as much as we can be on everything.
Fair runs through August 22nd. This year features all the standard fair fun and special musical performances from Hank Williams Jr., the Beach Boys with John Stamos, and more. The Economic Security Corporation's Homeless Coalition today hosted their summer Project Homeless Connect event in Joplin. Organizers say the event serves as a sort of one-stop shop for people experiencing homelessness to access resources for health care, food, employment, and housing, among other things.
And a lot of people just look at a homeless person and put them aside because they think they're a disease, a plague, and that they wanted to be on the streets. We didn't want this. We ended up this way because families kicked us out.
According to the Economic Security Corporation, there were 313 homeless people in 2020 in Joplin. That number dropped to 210 this year. Joplin's Ronald McDonald House van has a new look. Organizers showed off the van's new wrap. It was provided by Sign Design with materials and labor donated by members of the Tri-State Sign Association. Updating the branding is intended to promote awareness of the Ronald McDonald House and all it does to help the families of ill children.
You're going to see the vehicle out and about. You're going to see the vehicle taking our guest families. Our guest families have children who are seriously ill in our 2 local hospitals. They're going to and from the hospital to visit. They're going to and from doctor's appointments.
The Ronald McDonald House of the 4 states relies on donations to provide its services. Later, as we continue our high school football season previews, we're going to check in on the Neosho Wildcats as they prepare to try for a rebound from a winless season.
Plus, it looks like scattered showers and thunderstorms rolling in for us tonight. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, of course, it's been another hot and humid day for us today. Temperatures right back up into the mid to upper 90s for afternoon highs, and the humidity up there as well. So we've had those very high heat indices. You can see everybody into the 90s. A little bit cooler far northern counties just due to clouds with some showers and thunderstorms, which have been advancing into our northeastern counties. So there is a temperature contrast there. However, with the humidity, you get the heat index. The way it actually feels, it still feels like 100 to about 105 across the region, which is way up there. Currently outside in Joplin, sitting at 95, southwesterly winds at 15, heat index 101, relative humidity is at 44%. Through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 90s, 80s, eventually into the mid 70s later on tonight. But we are going to get some chances for showers and thunderstorms across the region. Most of us look good right now, but you can see some thunderstorms creeping in on the northern part of your screen here, a little band that has gone through Kansas City, down through central parts of Missouri. Now, majority of this is going to slide into central Missouri, but you can see on the back side, some of these are going to clip in to our northeastern counties. So in Nevada, Stockton Lake, maybe as far as Lamar. And then on top of that, they're trying to backbuild a little bit toward the west, right along I-70 towards Salina. And some of those will try to affect us a little bit later on tonight. I still think most of the evening hours look dry, but we will get some showers and thunderstorms in here. Look at the north winds, look at the south winds where they meet. That's our cold front. That's where our thunderstorms have been developing, and that front's going to swing off toward the south a little bit as we head through, really the overnight hours for us tonight. All right, so our best chances for rain are really going to roll in late tonight into tomorrow morning. Once we get that first batch that rolls on by, we'll get additional showers and thunderstorms that will start to develop, and these will start to push in, especially late tonight and then into tomorrow morning, even though we are going to get some scattered evening thunderstorms. And again, these are going to be hit and miss, so it's not going to be a wall of rain, but I do think majority of us will at least get some rain as we go into the overnight into tomorrow morning. We'll have some scattered thunderstorms during the morning. Then I think the afternoon in general looks pretty good. We'll start to heat up, but we will get a few additional isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon. Temperatures smidge cooler, humidity a little bit lower, which is good. We'll start at 71, 87 by noon, high temp right around 91, which is still hot, but better than what we have seen today. Any thunderstorms tomorrow evening or tomorrow night will mainly be in our southern counties. If you live north of I-44, you should stay dry. But as we go into Saturday, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a few additional scattered thunderstorms trying to pop back up as we head into Saturday afternoon. Heat indices lower tomorrow, but still upper 90s to near 100. So they're still going to be on the high side. But look at Saturday. It feels much better. It's going to feel like 85 to 90 degrees, very close to our actual temperature that we're going to see for a high on Saturday afternoon. All right, scattered thunderstorms tonight, especially after midnight into tomorrow morning, and then just kind of hit and miss storms over the next several days. But we do cool down a little bit, 90 on Saturday, 88 on Sunday, and then we kind of climb back into the 90s by the middle part of next week.
You know, it's been hot when you're really glad to see the temperature drop to a high of only 90 or so.
That is true.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, the Neosho Wildcats prepare for the fall football season with a new head coach. Plus, a former Pitt State basketball standout returns to the program on the other side of the game. Jacob Leonard has those stories next.
The Neosho Wildcats are in the middle of their first week of football practice. The Wildcats are just a week away from playing in a jamboree and 2 weeks away from their regular season opener. And Neosho is coming off a winless season, going 0-10 in 2020. They head into this year with a new head coach in Brandon Towdy. Towdy comes to Neosho after 10 years at Joplin High School, where he served as offensive coordinator. So he's no stranger to the COC, and he's hoping that experience will help him get this thing turned around in Neosho.
It's going to help a ton, you know. There's a few other new head coaches in the league, so Republic, who we play week 1, is one of them. So we don't know much about those guys, but we already know a lot about a lot of the other coaching staffs and teams. So that helps us a ton just to be able to prepare every week to already have some background information on those guys. Right now, we're just focused on getting better every day, and so I think our strength right now is our mentality and our work ethic, and we're not focused on anything other than today and what's happening right now.
And Neosho will open up the season on the 27th on the road against Republic. Former Pittsburgh State basketball standout Michaela Burgess is returning to PSU. Burgess is joining the women's basketball coaching staff as a graduate assistant this season. With the new job, Burgess has a lot on her plate, but she's excited for the chance to be back with the program. Michaela Burgess could not stay away from basketball.
Conversations with Coach David over the summer, I shared with her, like, it just won't leave me alone. Something about the game is just in my blood. We've always talked about it. We've always kind of hinted around at it the last couple of years, so now it's just all kind of coming to fruition.
Joining the coaching staff at Pittsburg State will be a balancing act for Burgess, who currently owns and operates a preschool in Webb City.
Coach David's been amazing. She knows that that's my priority. I got to get things done over there, and we will. I have an amazing staff of teachers over there, and they all know, and they're on board. That's mornings only, so I'll just bust it over here in the afternoons, get real familiar with that drive again from Joplin to Pittsburgh.
She is a person, I think, that kind of you feel like has the world in the palm of her hand. Like, she could do a lot of different things. This is something that she wants to be a part of again, and so you obviously do not want to deny that to a person, and I think that she's very capable of doing both.
Burgess played at Pittsburg State from 2015 to 2018, helping the Gorillas make 3 trips to the national tournament, including an Elite 8 appearance in 2016.
She obviously represents a really competitive and just a great tradition, an era of basketball that was a really special time in the Pittsburgh community.
She's on the other side of the game now, but Burgess is happy to be back with the program and ready to do what she can to help win games.
I think it's an incredible learning opportunity for me. I hope that, there are things that I'm able to share with the girls who are here now. Just the outpour of love has just kind of caught me off guard, but I don't know why, because that's what was handed to me for 4 years when I was here as an athlete.
And Burgess is 3rd on the PSU all-time scoring list with 1,856 points. She's also 2nd in program history with 333 made three-pointers in her career. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Chaplain Douglas Lawson served in the U.S. Navy. His hometown, Joplin, and we are proud to salute Chaplain Douglas Lawson. He's tonight's four-state hero. The Chicago White Sox and New York Yankees are facing off tonight in the Field of Dreams game in Iowa. It's being played at a temporary stadium near the location where the movie Field of Dreams was filmed. It's not the actual field. That was reserved for some pretty special kids playing in a 14 and under game. And one of those special kids, Brandon Stinson, hit a dream of a grand slam into the cornfield where the ghost players from the film emerged. This game featured a New York club called Dream and a team from Chicago called Ace. You can watch the big leaguers right now if you switch over to our sister station, Fox 14. Now, Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 after tonight's Field of Dreams MLB game.
Tonight on Fox 14, going to hear how Pitt State is helping nurses fight sexual violence and care for survivors. Also, the Homeland Security Secretary was down at the southern border today, and why Wendy's is investing in so-called ghost kitchens. That, of course, much more tonight after the Field of Dreams MLB game.
Jordan, thanks. Pretty much all of us, I'm sure, would love to get some rain in the days ahead. Looks like at least some of us. Well done.
Yeah, it's been so hot out there. We've kind of dried out just a bit, but we are going to get some scattered showers and thunderstorms in here late this evening, and then most of us, it's going to be after midnight into tomorrow morning. After we get past tomorrow morning, then it's just kind of hit and miss little pop-up storms just about each and every day. A little bit cooler, but still hot, high temps near 90.
Psychologically, it'll feel considerably cooler. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.